Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So today is October 23rd, 2 days before the solar eclipse. Hi, everyone. Okay, sound is working. And I want to do another forecast. I thought, who could I do? I could do Biden, but who cares? He's brain dead. And then I was like, well, I know who I could do. Let's do Prince Harry's boss. One of Prince Harry's bosses, George Soros. And by the way, I'm open to suggestions. If there's anyone in particular that you want to forecast on, I'm happy to look at, like a world figure or something. Anyways, so back in 2021, Prince Harry joined the Aspen Institute. I hope I'm still on. I didn't lose you guys today. I just heard a. Okay. And so the Aspen Institute, Prince Harry joins Aspen Institute Misinformation Commission following media struggles with Megain. So Harry is one of 15 commissioners heading a study of misinformation at the Aspen Institute's new Commission of Information Disorder. Something Harry and Meghan contend they face personally in the British media. So yeah, and I looked at the Aspen Institute website, and Harry is still there. He's a commissioner. Harry, member of the Aspen Commission of Information Disorder, co-founder of Archwell. Archwell's nothing but a website. He's a co-founder. So he was like, I'm a founder of dailyempresstarot.com. Oh, by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only, my opinions only. Please do your own research. Thank you. So he's a commissioner. So a commissioner is representative, uh, member of a commission or representative of government authority in a district, province, or other unit having both judicial and administrative powers. Officer in charge of a department, a bureau of public service. So I guess this is Harry's idea of service, censoring people, accusing them of misinformation. And the New York Post, I love the New York Post. They always have the best articles, don't they? Inside the hypocrisy, oops, if I can get this to show. Inside the hypocrisy of media manipulators and censors who claim to fight misinformation. Boom, right there. There it is. One headline. Don't need to look any further. That's the whole point. Censorship. Harry and Meghan want censorship, and they're doing it with the funds of this man, Mr. George Soros, whose reputation precedes him, does it not, in many countries around the world, including very much with the new first female prime minister of Italy, right? Hi, Cecile. Hi, Aries. Hi, Anna. All right. How you doing? Good morning. So yeah, I want to do a forecast. So I said, let's look at Mr. Soros here. This is a new scourge befouling the media landscape, one that our self-appointed mandarins have declared themselves eager to combat misinformation. The Aspen Institute's Commission on Information Disorder. Yeah, and Harry's on this. Harry's the biggest liar in the world. He's been caught in so many lies. And even Netflix says that what he said on Netflix contradicts what he said in his book. And this is a man who's on the commission for disinformation. I I mean, it's such a clown show from beginning to end. And there's like these people, they all need their money taken away now. Now they're just, so Aspen Institute's Commission on Information Disorder recently released a report. They had a report they released, just like Christopher Bosey and his reports. Don't you know? Everybody's got a report they're releasing. I think it's time we release a report about them here for a range of social problems. Quote, information disorder is a crisis that exacerbates all other crises. Information disorder makes any health crisis more deadly. Yeah, don't we know? Maybe that's why mainstream media should stop lying. Uh, yeah, these people are the creators of misinformation, and they're trying to suppress the truth, as we all know. In my opinion, it slows down our response time to climate change. Oh, It slows down our response time to climate change, which we all need because we need those climate change lockdowns, don't you know? Can't have anything getting in the way of that. We can't have all those pesky experts like the founder of Greenpeace who said, "There's no such thing. You guys are full of crap. This is all lies." It undermines democracy. It creates a culture which is racist. Ethnic and gender attacks are seen as solutions, not problems. Oh my God, this is such propaganda, communism. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, $65 million backing from Georgie Soros and Bill Gates also as well to fight fake news. Oh my, do I have to read any more? Oh, and he hates Trump, of course, is part of taking out Trump too, is his using the media. So this man, Harry works for this man at the Aspen Institute as the as Harry is working as a commissioner of misinformation, disinformation. Yeah. So let's take a look at this. Harry's boss. I said I felt like doing a forecast today. Let's look at Harry's boss or one of Harry's bosses there at the Aspen Institute. So why not? Let's take a look, right? See what's going on with Georgie Porgy there. Yep, yep. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. So, anyways, let's take a look here. I've already shuffled the cards. I'm going to start with the anchor portion here with the small cards. I'm using the Halloween tarot since we do have Halloween coming up around the corner. But every day is Halloween with George Soros and Prince Harry. Don't you know? Yes, we do. So, the base, what's going on at the base of his attitude here? Oh, Empress. Focusing on women and climate change. Empress here. Hmm. Love and relationships, strength, being in control of people in his life. Very important to George Soros. Work, what's going on with work here? Temperance, working very closely with Bill Gates and others to destroy freedoms, destroy democracy, destroy, in my opinion, central theme. Of course, this would be the central theme of George Soros. I got the tower. House of Horrors here. Nightmare on Elm Street. He's like Freddy Krueger. Tower. So George Soros is all about destruction. That's just the central theme of everything he does. Like, how can I destroy? What can I destroy next? Who can I get? Can I get Prince Harry to join me? Immediate future, I get High Priestess, naturally, secrets, secretive. Everything's very secretive with George Soros. He does not like his deeds coming to light. Oh, he doesn't like it. Oh, he doesn't like it. Uh, Next is wishes. What is he wishing for? Gee, what a surprise. Yeah, he wants everyone dead. Dead or in concentration camps, but preferably you're all dead because he's a eugenicist like Bill Gates. Him and Bill Gates are like twins. So, of course, he wants everyone dead. Just go die. If everyone would just mass suicide themselves now for George Soros so he can have the planet to himself, thank you very much. And what's the future for George Soros looking like? Oh no, the sun. Oh, he's still succeeding here. And of course, you see with the cat down here with the horns and all the skulls. Yeah, this is his future. That's what he wants. And this is his climate change messaging here. We're gonna have a nice, healthy planet without you. Without you, we want to get rid of you. Yeah, that's his future. That's what he's heading for. Of course, we know that. And it does look like he's going to be continuing it because he controls the media. He controls world. He's with the World Economic Forum, controlling the governments. It appears, in my opinion. So it is continuing on. No one's stopping them as of yet. Yeah. Very destructive individual. Not a surprise to me to get the Tower, the Death, and the High Priestess. I would expect that with a man like this, for sure. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be looking at a short-term forecast here, so maybe we'll get an idea if something will happen soon. Let's hope so. Let's find out. What's going on with George Soros? What does his forecast look like here? Let me see if I can get all these cards in here. Kind of zoomed in so much. I can zoom. Try to pick this up a little bit, get a little more in there. I'm gonna split the very shuffle the cards. So I'm gonna split the deck. What's going on with George Soros? What's his future hold look like it's holding? What's going on with George Soros, Prince Harry's boss at the Aspen Institute? What is going on with him, anyways? Was evil man alive, or one of them, anyways? One of one of a group here. So personal life here, personal attitude. Eight of Pumpkins, hard at work, carving into people's minds. He's like a pumpkin. He's trying to, what you do with a pumpkin? You cut the top off and then you take out all the guts. So he wants to do that to everybody's brain, just cut off the top and remove your brain and only fill it with the information he wants. Five of bats, which is five of swords. You see, he's stealing all the candy there. He's like, it's mine, mine. Everything's mine. You get nothing. You get nothing. I take everything. I take the land, I take the water, I take the food, I take your future. It's all mine, mine, mine. Yes, he's very greedy. He likes taking things that belong to other people. Seems to be his history of doing that. Yeah, and tricksters. Five of bats is being, his work is being, eight of coins with the five of swords. His work is lying, deceiving, stabbing people in the back there, taking things away from them, upsetting people, destroying their lives and their livelihoods and their families and their futures. Yeah, open borders, open those borders up. What, you don't have a nation? No, 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 no. One world order. Next we get Star. So that is high hopes for the future of his building back better, new world order, global reset, whatever you want to call it. He's still following that star. They're still working towards it. And you notice in this star card, there's a gargoyle in it. You know, they want to have like a Chinese Communist Party where they have cameras everywhere watching over everyone, destroying their lives and everything. Yes, and next card, Eight of Imps, which is Eight of Wands, which is getting his little demons out there and spreading out his lies in the media, in my opinion, and pushing out this story, that story, and trying to hide and confuse and obfuscate. See, he doesn't like anybody in the media talking about him. He doesn't want you talking about him. If you do, he gets the ADL on you and accuse you of being anti-Semitic. But he's already admitted in a 60 Minutes interview, which I believe you can find on YouTube, where he admitted that he stole belongings of Jewish people during World War II, and that he's not really Jewish anyways, although I think I heard, so I don't know. But yeah, soon to his grave. But you know what? The damage he's causing leading up to that is really unbelievable. A lot of these old fogies, Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates, I mean, they're all old and yet they're so destructive, right? He's probably going to clone. Yeah, right? That's why he's got that. That's why they got that transhuman thing. They want to transfer their minds over to a robot and live forever or something. Oh, so you never get rid of him. God. Next, we gotta look at home base here. I got six of bats, moving to a foreign place, moving around. He's probably maybe in a foreign country right now. Maybe he's in his getaway somewhere, New Zealand or something. Four of pumpkins, yeah, planting his seeds here. New plans and plots here in his home. He's got the wall behind him because he doesn't want anyone seeing what he's doing. So he's making new plants here, particularly with GMO seeds here. I kind of think of the GMO seeds and the yeah, kind of changing everything up here. They want to control life, they want to merge life. They want to be gods, right? Like Yuval Harari says. So I see him traveling around, planting his seeds. And next I get Knight of Ghosts. Knight of Ghosts. So he's going to be acting nice and acting like I'm just a philanthropist. I'm a humanitarian. So he's going to be at home anyways, from home base, doing nice things. And then I get Four of Ghosts. for a ghost. But then he's bored. He's just a very bored, unhappy, lonely person here, and he's got all the ghosts of his past here haunting him. He's like Ebenezer Scrooge, the ghosts coming to visit him. But I see him as being very obviously a very unhappy person. He's not happy with anything. No matter how much pain and destruction he causes, he wants more. And it's part of these psychopaths. They suffer like Harry. They're mentally ill and they're unhappy, so they think everybody should be unhappy. If they're unhappy, you need to be unhappy. If they're depressed, you should be depressed because, they feel like they're suffering. Why should you be happy if they're not happy? They can't stand that you're happy. They can't stand it. That's why they want to make us so unhappy. The inflation and destroying the economy and the country. They love making you unhappy. Like I said, when George Soros, it's already a proven fact. It was in the news that he supports BLM and Antifa in these riots. He was supporting the groups that were providing the defund the police signs, and he paid these injustice little groups that he started because he starts little groups, little foundations and little committees. Like he supports the PAC committee, PAC, he supports all these things, right? NGOs, whatever. He's hundreds of them he supports. And they supported, the BLM riots. And so he loves watching people fighting in the streets and killing each other and attacking each other and burning buildings down because he's an unhappy man. He's going to continue to be unhappy. He's just, no matter what, he's just unhappy. And if they're unhappy, you're unhappy. That's the point. So if you're unhappy, that's what they want. That's what they want to take away your happiness. They don't want you to enjoy your life and be happy. How you poor people, how dare you be happy? George Soros and Prince Harry aren't happy, so you shouldn't be happy. Yeah, that's it, right? It's basically the base of it. So his career, what's going on with his career? Next, I get, Eight of Swords. So he's feeling a little tied up right now. Everybody's talking about him and scrutinizing him, and maybe he's getting some things in his way. It's not as easy right now for him to wreak havoc because everybody knows that what he's done and what he's supported, and people are talking about it. People are writing about it. I mean, it's in the New York Post, for crying out loud. I mean, that's not some alternative website, and Forbes magazine. I mean, everybody's reporting on this, right? I mean, mainstream media, everybody knows what he's doing. This is mainstream media, This isn't, some alt-right, QAnon, right-wing extremist website. This is the New York Post, okay? So everybody knows what he's doing. So he's feeling hampered right now at work with the Eight of Bats, which is like the Eight of Swords. Everybody knows what he's up to and doesn't want to be associated with him. But of course, Nancy Pelosi posted a picture with him recently. She's visiting him in his home. So what else is he working on? What's he feeling? Seven of Pumpkins. Yeah, he's feeling restrained with his work. And if his work is nothing but destruction and New World Order and all that, Klaus Schwab and all the rest. So how's it going to be going? Next, I get Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. So putting on a big show in the media, being aggressive, more knights here. Second knight I'm getting. Moving. This is also moving. Maybe he's moving his work operations around because you know what? He opens and closes these little committees or groups like Tides in Canada was one, and that supported Antifa up there. That meddled with that was on the same floor as Dominion voting that allegedly had something to do with tampering with the election. So he's always opening and shutting, and then as soon as it came out that Tides was, was funded by him, it immediately was shut down. They took the sign off. It looked all official at first, then they took it down right away. So he has this like overnight opening and shutting of these things. So I see some moving here with his work. So he may be opening and shutting, shutting down some, groups that he funds, social justice, equity and diversity and, the usual communist terminologies. He's going to be opening and shutting some more. I see him moving around. I see him moving his work around with the Seven of Coins and the Knight of Wands, particularly the media catching on to him and the Magician. Yep, pulling the rabbit out of the hat there. So he's up to more here, more powerful actions here. And I think, of course, we do have an election, a midterm election going on now. So I kind of he likes to meddle with our elections, I believe, in my opinion. Which we've seen with the 2020 election with the tides and everything. So I think that he's up to something else here. He's moving around, moving something around here and moving his operations and pulling some more tricks here, manifesting some more things successfully. So maybe feeling tied up right now, but I see him pulling some tricks here successfully with his career, which is not good news for us, I gotta tell you. Because his work over here, temperance, merging with someone, focusing on health, mental health. Maybe he's doing something with Better Up or something like that, under the guise of helping with depression. Like just like in schools, like in elementary schools, you know what they did? And they started what they called, they put up a website for suicide prevention, right? So under the guise of mental health, oh, are you depressed? You feel suicidal? Just go to this website. And the website ended up being all full of transgender groups, and it gave children access to adults out in the world, predators basically, and there was no supervision. Nobody knew. The parents didn't know it was on it. They didn't even know about this website. Teachers weren't monitoring it. So they're just inviting predators to a website and telling the kids, oh, if you feel suicidal, go to this website. And then immediately they're brought into groups about transgenderism. So a lot of mental health is very much, and most of these kids who end up being transgender are just depressed, and they're misled and manipulated and groomed into the idea of, well, if you're depressed, it must be because you're transgender. So this whole thing is going on. I mean, this is all reported about you. So yeah, so that's why when they start talking mental health, you gotta perk up there and be like, oh, what's really going on? Because they're pulling all kinds of shenanigans under the guise of mental health. Yeah. Yeah, he said HG Tutor says the more she tries to control everything, the more mistakes Mégane makes. Yeah, yeah. I just wish he and his pals like Klaus would go to the eternal place. Yeah, right? I don't know. Or I just was like, just go away. Just take their money away and just prevent them, from being able to do anything. Anyway, so love and relationships. I get Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Unexpected things happening there. Spinning around there. And next I get the world. Oh my, the world. On the world stage. New World Order. These are his friends here. You get the scorpion, you get the lizard there, the dragon, you get the snake and the bat. These are his friends here, the New World Order. Yeah, so major happenings there with his New World Order buddies, things happening, and I get the moon. So uncertainty, things are not as they appear, things are a little cray cray. They've been exposed. A lot of these people, the New World Order, with the alleged COVID pandemic, they've been exposed and they've turned into werewolves, and their craziness and their real plan of what they were doing with all this tyranny, like Justin Trudeau. I mean, how much more can Justin Trudeau be outed, right, of what he's done and what he's about, right, and what it was really about? The way when Justin went and bent a knee for BLM, but then called the truckers terrorists, domestic terrorists, which, by the way, is a term from the Chinese Communist Party. That's what the Chinese Communist Party term they used against the Uyghurs to imprison them. What they called them domestic terrorists, right? So, anyways, they're real. They've all the World Economic Forum and George Soros, they've transformed into werewolves in the public eye. Everybody sees what they're really up to, that they're not trying to help your health. And then going back to health again, this whole tyranny started under the guise of, oh, here, there's a terrible virus. We have a cure for you. So it's always under the guise of health that they bring in their tyranny and their abuse of power. And, oh, here we have the solution for a virus. We'll put you all in health internment camps. Yeah, yeah. And next, so things are getting cray cray there with his relationships here. And next one, Two of Pumpkins, going back and forth with the money, transferring money here, transferring money there, putting out a little performance. Oh, look, I just donated, a few $100,000 to this cause, and secretly millions of dollars to a tyrannical cause. So I do see a shifting of money here and working with someone else, going back and forth between two places. Now we know George Soros works very closely with Trudeau and Freelander, and Freelander, of course, wrote a book about George Soros. So this is all connected: Prince Harry, George Soros, Trudeau, Freelander, World Economic Forum. I mean, they're all connected. connected. I mean, it's so obvious. And Bill Gates right there. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle work with Bill Gates, hired his assistant. And we all know George Soros and Bill Gates started a company to do testing, PCR testing. They never want that to end, right? So all these people are all grouped together, they're all together. It's all just so, but I do see him going back and forth here with his relationship here. It's like things are getting crazy and stressful, which is good, but I'm seeing him going back and forth between two places or people here. So what does his future hold? What does his future hold? hmm Yeah. Got Page of Pumpkins. Uh-oh. Some news coming in. Information. New news, new and misinformation. Seven of Ghosts or Seven of Cups. So this is like on the internet. I always, see this up in the sky. All these ideas. They're trying to guard. You get the guard down here. Looking at all these things. So I see that there's going to be new information coming out that he's putting out, or new information coming out about him, perhaps. Maybe there'll be a big expose. I see some information coming in here. Next, oh yeah, Four of Bats or Four of Swords. Yeah, he may be having to rest, lay low, hide out in his bunker for a while, keep quiet. So this is what Harry and Meghan always do. When Harry and Meghan are exposed for being liars, like on Oprah, all the lies that they've been exposed for telling. And what do Harry and Meghan, how do they respond? Nothing. They go silent, right? This is what they all do, all the globalists, George Soros, Bill Gates, all the rest. When you expose their crimes, their lies, they just go silent. Radio silence. You don't see or hear anything. They just lay low and wait for it to pass. They never apologize. Harry and Meghan have never apologized for anything. They don't apologize for how they treat Meghan's father. They don't apologize for how they treat the Queen. They don't apologize for nothing, and neither does George Soros or Bill Gates or any of them. They never apologize because they're criminals. And they just lay low until the story passes, until something else comes up in the news cycle before you see them again. So I see something coming out on the internet or in the news that he's going to lay low for a while. He's going to keep quiet and try to go off the radar for a while. Oh, 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 death. Death card coming up here, ending here. And of course, we got death up here in his work area. So I see something ending with his work. So maybe he's going to get exposed for some other corruption he's doing, and then he's going to go to his bunker and lay low, and it's going to end something that he's working on or has been working on. Either it's ending in a lot of death, and that's being exposed, or he is ending something that he's working on that's ending. It has to do with work, I'm getting. And the key card of it all, at the bottom of it all, strength. Trying to control everyone, but quietly, calmly. He's trying to control everything. He's a control freak. They're all control freaks. And of course, I got strength over here in love and relationships. So he tries to control everything and everyone, right, in his life. He's a control freak. They all are. They're all control freaks. That is the beginning and end of it. So, major key cards here. Major arcana. We got the magician over here with his career. So he's continuing with his, trying to manipulate and trying to control things on the internet. How dare you have the freedom of speech to say what you want? Oh my goodness, who do you think you are? Free human being? Oh hell no, not in the New World Order world. You're a peasant, you're chattel. You're nothing, not even I mean, man. So I do see that, yeah, but I do see he's being hampered up here with career with the Eight of Swords. And that he is, moving around. He's moving money around. Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Wands or Knight of Imps, and the Magician. He's shifting things around because he's being stopped here and there in some things. So he's working around it by shifting around with his buddies there and his companies. And so I see some shifting around that he's successfully pulling off after being stopped from something else. Um, I see some, unexpected things with, relationships here. Now, of course, I think of his, work relationships are probably the most important ones to him. But I get that on the world stage, again, a major arcana of the world, New World Order and the moon, making things crazy and upsetting, and him going back and forth between two things here, two ideas, two causes. One cause could be COVID and the other one could be the open border. Or it's like two things that he's doing, two main things that he's going back and forth on, and trying to make people deceive people. Because the moon is like deceptions and things not as they seem, and hiding the truth, the werewolf, hiding the werewolf from the people. So he's a werewolf, but he doesn't want you to know. So he's hiding it, and balancing two things here. A lot of unexpected things happening with career. He has been hampered a little bit, and I do see in the future he is going to have to end something that he's been working on is going to end. Now, of course, he is, how old is he? He's very old. So it could be, death could literally be death in this case because, he is old. But of course, like you said, he probably has a backup body somewhere, a clone, a transhuman clone somewhere. But I'm not seeing, yeah, I'm not really seeing that necessarily, though. At least not in the near, because this is just for the next few months. So I see him successfully continuing being secretive here in the immediate future here, keeping things very secretive. Now, the High Priestess can also be about alternate religions, as evil religions. Of course, I didn't get the devil, surprisingly. I guess when you're dealing with really evil people, that's obvious. You don't need it. But yeah, a lot of death and destruction for sure, secretiveness and control issues being the main thing. See, what's interesting is like with this, I get the strength twice. And you notice she's like holding his tongue. That's what he wants to do to everybody. He wants to hold your tongue, right? He wants to control like this person is trying to control the lion's speech. She's like trying to pull out the tongue there. So that's what he wants to do. Him and Harry want to pull out your tongues. Just pull them out. This is what it's all about. This is why this is the key for the whole thing. Even if it means death. He doesn't care. He wants to rip that tongue out of people. That's the whole point of everything, right? Is to take away your rights, but particularly, they really hate the truth coming out. They don't want you to know what they don't want you to know. So they want to control the internet. And I get that here with the future here, because we've got page of pentacles or pumpkins here. So he's seeing what people are writing and saying about him, like Harry, and on the internet. He can't stand it. He's watching all these people posting all this stuff on the internet, and he can't stand it. He can't stand it. He wants to rip those tongues out, be like, you shouldn't be allowed to write anything about me. But all I can do is, lay low and play dead for a while, whether he is or not. Maybe make people wonder or something. But maybe he is. I mean, I am getting the death card. One thing or another, either something that he's working on is ending or he's ending, but I'm getting this in the work area. And unfortunately, he does have a lot of things going on that he's invested millions and millions of dollars in that still goes on, right? Whether he's around or not, he's already set in motion all of these Aspen Institutes and all these other things that will continue going on regardless of whether he's there personally. I see him working with Temperance very closely with Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab and others with his tower. Of course, the center of it all, the center of what he's about is, again, disruption, destruction, New World Order type of activities. And maybe he is a force against the royal family, and that's why he's working with Prince Harry. Because I find it interesting that Prince Harry is working with George Soros and Bill Gates, and Bill Gates is supposedly, a knight or something with the Queen and visited the Queen. But I've never seen George Soros visit the Queen that I know of, or King Charles. I don't think I've seen a picture. Now we've seen King Charles with Klaus Schwab, but not they're very careful about who they pose for pictures with, right? It's very much, you know, a statement there. So he's not happy as usual with what he's doing, planting his seeds. He's been trying to, start new things here, trying to make them grow, trying to get more support for his climate change and his misinformation campaigns. And, he's trying to get people to believe the stories you know, and being like, look, you're helping, do the right thing and go glue yourself in a museum to a museum painting. Yeah, good idea. So he's like encouraging people to this craziness. By the end of the day, it's because he's just a miserable, unhappy, dissatisfied person who's never happy with anything. I mean, you see in this picture, these people are the ghosts around him are happy, having a good time, and he's just sitting there with his arms folded, like he's never happy. He's a psychopath, like Harry and Meg. They're never happy. So and he's not happy with how his things are working out. That it's not destructive enough. People aren't miserable enough. He wants everybody to be miserable like him, and so does Prince Harry. And then they'll turn around and say, "Oh, are you unhappy just because I'm destroying the world? Here, we've got a pill for that. Contact Harry's Better Up app. He can help you." So they want to destroy your happiness, take away your rights, deplatform you. Yeah, basically try to destroy your reputation, try to destroy the integrity of your elections, and try and destroy food processing. How many food processing places have been destroyed, planes crashing in them and whatnot, destroying food sources and encouraging invasions on borders. But, if you're unhappy, that's what they want. That's obviously what he wants. It's quite clear what he wants. And this is what's coming in the future, and he's all happy about it. He's definitely happy about that. And that's another thing. Like he loves war. He grew up in World War II. So he loves that. And I think that's like the basis of the formation of his psychosis here, his psychology. He grew up in a war, so in his mind, everything should be war because that's what he's comfortable with. When you grow up with something, that's what you're comfortable with. That's what you're used to. And so when things are peaceful and happy and people are flourishing, that's very uncomfortable for him. He's uncomfortable with a happy society. He can't stand it. He's going to find a way to destroy it. He's miserable. When everybody around is happy, he's miserable. Can't stand it. And so and neither can Prince Harry and Meghan Markle either, I should warn. They don't like because they don't like, it's not just that people are saying things about them that they don't like. It's that people are having a good time doing it. That's what they can't stand. How dare you get together and laugh and joke and make funny pictures and like each other and all that stuff. They can't stand that. They can't stand that, just like they can't stand anyone, making a little bit of money from it. Oh my goodness, money with Megan. Oh, she can't stand that. That's like, how dare you? Not only are you having a good time, you're making some money from that. We got to take that away, because again, they just want to make you miserable and they want to kill you. I mean, that's really what it looks like. And that's George Soros is definitely a major influence of death. I see something major here happening in the future for sure. Ending of something, whether it's him or his work. I do have it associated with his wishes. Oh, excuse me, this is the wishes section, not work. I'll take that back. This is work. His work is temperance. And these are his wishes, right? So his wishes are, death. So I think that this definitely means he's causing more death. He's definitely causing more death. Yeah. That's what he's hoping for. Ending of free society. Now he could be again, it could be, maybe he's on the end. Could be. Could be, but even after, up until leading and after, he's still going to be trying to control everything, particularly speech and freedom of speech. He's going to be doing the Aspen Institute, trying to control what you say and what information and fact check you. All the fact checkers, he pays for a lot of fact checkers, I've heard. They're all that was it, the Associated Press and whatever. They're all paid by George Soros and Bill Gates. fact checkers who lie and lie and lie, right? All throughout this pandemic. So yeah, again, back to temperance with his work. So, yeah, a lot more death coming that George Soros is causing and confusing people, which is what he wants, what he aspires to. With his trickery and lies, the Five of Swords, because that's his work. So, personal, what's going on with him personally right now, again, back to the beginning, he's still working hard on destroying your mind, your body, your country, your bank account, and he is using his trickery, bullying, lies, deceit, again, taking the candy, he's taking all the happiness and the food resources and the money and everything else he can steal from you, steal from people. That's what he's doing. It's a very nasty bully. Just steal, 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 take, take, take. And that's what he aims for. That's his goal in life. That's what he loves to do, and he's a gargoyle there, and traveling and pushing forward 801s, pushing forward his little demons and his little demonic projects, pushing them out there, one thing after another, one news lie after another, pushing for war. Of course, we know he's pushing for the Ukraine war. I'm sure it's behind that as well. It looks like, in my opinion, because at the end of it all, in the future, this is what is coming up. This is what he's causing, and this is him, like, pouring water on nutrients on the idea of just, yeah, everybody just go die. That's what he wants. He wants war, he wants death, because that's the way he originally flourished, was by um reaping the rewards of people who died in concentration camps by stealing their stuff. So that's why he wants to do again. He loves that. He always reaps the benefits. So, he's financially, in my opinion, is financially benefiting from everything. Every atrocity that's occurred, he's benefiting financially from. He's like, oh, I got a new way to make some money. Yeah. I mean, so it's really heinous and evil and despicable and demonic, and uh, these people, they need their resources taken away. They just need all their money taken away, because they're just doing nothing but concocting and ruining people's lives and countries. Uh, and they just want to have communist China with cameras on every place, and you can't do anything, and if you say the wrong thing, like in China, if you post the wrong picture or say the wrong thing on social media, boom, they close your account, so you can't buy anything and you can't travel anywhere and you can't do anything. That's what George Soros wants. That's what he wants. They all love, all the World Economic Forum people love the Chinese Communist Party. I mean, Trudeau just loves China, doesn't he? He wants to be a dictator like Xi Jinping, where he can control what everyone sees and says and controls everything, all information. Oh, they love it. They love it. They so badly want to make Canada and the US China, or, what they call New World Order. That's what they're going for. And unfortunately, I do see that um, there is a lot of death and destruction. George Soros supports here coming up, and he is going to be, I do see the sun here, which is a success card, which, again, I kind of you get the idea of death even in the sun card, and kind of look at that, like he's succeeding in his wishes here of killing and destroying. Yeah. And Prince Harry's helping him out, working at the Aspen Institute for sure. Yeah, no, they won't win in the end, but they are going to kill a lot of people for sure in the process. Yeah. All right, so that looks like so again, New World Order, major things happening back and forth. So I think the two most important areas to look out for with him is his relationships, who he's interacting with, Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab, keeping an eye on that. And in the immediate future, I do get the High Priestess. So he's going to be laying low in the immediate future, being very secretive, doing things behind the scenes. And so look out, taking people down behind the scenes off the internet and whatnot. It looks like laying low. He is laying low a bit because, he does have a big reputation here, but he is very much being very active in trying to control young people. And our page I also see as young people. So I think there's this push of communism. I don't know if you heard, just recently an article came out that said in New York City, private schools are trying to are forcing parents to take CRT, critical race theory classes on racism and equity and DIE, right? Diversity, uh, diversity, inclusivity, and equity, which is nothing but communism. These are all communist, totalitarian ideas. So they're pushing this information. I think George Soros is involved in that, is what I'm getting at with the page. That's information. So they're trying to, instead of just killing everybody outright, they're going to kill a lot of people, but they're also trying to brainwash people, basically re-educate people. So this is re-education. Telling the parents of kids in elementary school, you need to be re-educated in diversity, inclusivity, and equity, and racism, and they're racist, anti-racism. I mean, it's all word salad, BS, lies. But, this is what's going on. It's propaganda, and they're re-educating people. They're starting it. So they bring it in little by little. So pay attention. This is what they're doing. The censorship. They bring the censorship in little by little. First you can't say this, then you can't say that. I mean, just for doing a George Soros forecast, I'll probably get a flat. I'll probably get a strike. They keep creeping up more and more. More and more and this is what they're doing. It's getting worse and worse. And so I see in the future here with George Soros, he's definitely part of re-educating people and working with that as well. I'm getting it's another part of the project that him and Bill Gates and the rest are pushing out there. And that's also part because you've got to have the censorship to take away information you don't want people to know, and then put out, get everybody deranged. I mean, I don't know about you, but these people who are so diehard in this communist, Marxist, critical race theory, in my opinion, they're really crazy. I mean, they're insane. I mean, they're really brainwashed. I mean, these people are in academia and they're in government, and they are you can't they're brainwashed. Like, you can't relate to them. You can't even discuss anything with them. They're in their thinking is an all entirely different reality. I mean, their reality is, if you say I'm not racist, that makes they think, oh, you're definitely racist. It's they're working on this like diabolical evil where everything's reversed. That's like Satanism and evil. It's like everything's reversed. So now being racist is the reverse of what being racist is. So you have to be anti-racist is the only way to say racist now. You notice that they're like flipping everything. They're being very demonic and flipping everything. So, and just like diversity, inclusivity, and equity don't mean what the traditional definitions are. They actually mean suppressing anyone who's white and elevating anyone who's black or brown. I mean, that's basically is racist. So, I mean, I say my BLM. I mean, talk about evil inversions, right? It's always the reverse. So, Black Lives Matter, what did they do for Black lives? They did nothing for George Floyd. Again, you got to watch that Candace Owens documentary. They did nothing for George Floyd. They bought mansions for themselves, threw parties for themselves, and then they donated millions of dollars to transgender groups. Transgender, mainly white transgender people. They didn't give anything to any black, because this is all listed in the tax returns of BLM. They got $80 million and they donated millions and millions to these trans activist places. They gave nothing to George Floyd's family. They gave nothing to George Floyd's roommates. They gave nothing to Breonna Taylor. They gave nothing to nobody. It's all political. They gave a lot of money to PAC, which is the Democratic Party, which George Soros also donates a lot to. That's where BLM money went. It was all to raise money for Democrat communists with the New World Order. So I just want to put that out there as well. So it's very, very evil. Very, very evil. So anyways, that's my rant for today with George Soros. And it does look like he is getting, I'm with the Magician here again, and with Death card as a result here, because this is his career. So his career is Magician, manifesting about sweeping changes here, and his sweeping changes are mass death that he's bringing about. So I do, and the key to it all is controlling what people say. Now, this also falls into the pandemic idea. So what happened with the pandemic and with the the you know what's that we can't talk about. Well, there you go. We can't talk about it, can we? But we know what we're talking about. So he's behind that. The whole idea is you put the you know what's out, and then, and she looks like she's holding a you know what there, right? And then you have to silence people who have bad reactions to the you know what, because that might cause you know what hesitancy. Can't have that. That's the new crime, right? So yeah, so you see how censorship is very integral to this new world order. They want to do something and they have to shut people up who are, suffering from their from his, here in the work area, his new cure for you, his new big pharma cure, and what they're doing. So it's very important. Censorship is very important to tyranny, right? China, everything's censored. You can't say anything in China on their internet. Oh, you could be arrested and dragged and disappeared, or dragged to prison. That's what George Soros and Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab and all the rest, and Trudeau and Jacinda Ardern, everybody, they're trying to bring into the West this tyranny, as we all know. So George Soros is, unfortunately, I'm seeing that, again, his work career, he is still working successfully in managing and manifesting more diabolical destruction. He is moving around. He's moving his money around. He's moving his little foundations or groups, social justice groups that he funds. He's changing them around, moving them around, and he is going back and forth with, I think, Bill Gates and others, transferring their wealth around. And he is, at the end of it all, in the future, he is going to be causing lots of death and destruction. And that is, of course, absolutely intentional. I kind of see this here as him watching the BLM Antifa people, going out and destroying, and he's sitting there watching it all and guarding it all because he's really behind it all. But at the same time, he stays home and keeps his hands clean and lays low and doesn't say anything. And he's like, I didn't do anything. He tries to distance himself from it. But we all know he and Bill Gates and all the rest are all behind it. Very, very secretive going forward in the near future, being very, very secretive. A lot of things behind the scenes going on that he's doing. A lot of that's going to result in a lot of death and destruction here. So keep a lookout and pay attention to what's censored, because that's what they're working on. That's why they're so sensitive about people talking about it. So let's see if this video stays up with my forecast, which is my opinion only. It should. So hopefully. And that is it. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.